So this is going to be my review of the Wagner Flexio 3000. I bought it a couple days ago, and I bought it specifically for painting, trim, baseboards, and doors. Um, I've used mainly because I've got a big air compressor at my other house, and I'm trying to be mobile whenever I'm working in here. So I just got this little electric sprayer. It's not. I almost took it back, so let me go there. But I ended up figuring out how to make it work and how to take it apart and how to clean it. It uh, it comes with a couple things. One, it's adjustable. So this here, this is wide. You see the arrow here. This is narrow. Not a lot of change though. And this is how you change the direction. So you just click and click. Easy, super easy. You've got this here, this controls your paint flow. At least I think that's what it is. That's what I've always used it for. And this here is your airflow. You know, one, and they've got a kind of got a sheet here that comes with it, but it really didn't work for me that well. If you're gonna go buy the sheet, kind of max everything out. That's kind of what I did. It seemed to work pretty well. It's got two different containers, and the reason I bought this is good for small jobs. And you know, if you buy one of the big airless sprayers, it takes a gallon of paint for that thing to even get started. And I paint a lot of the time, you know, small jobs. So this here is supposed to be for your latex paint and your normal paint. And the reason people are buying this is because it kind of does both. At least it claims to. I didn't use this one. This is supposed to be their clears, their stains. I could have even used it for this because the primer that I just sprayed with it's incredibly thin, but I didn't. I went ahead and I used the main container here. Some problems that I had with it was it's very cheaply made. Now granted, this is not a $700 sprayer. It's a cheap sprayer. I get that. I understand. So, sorry, someone's driving by. But it comes with it's got the filters, and these filters are for the air intake. And it comes with a hard case that won't last worth of add anything. I mean, so kind of take care of it, baby it. I mean, if you're painting all the time, it's not something you're gonna buy. This is for somebody who's got a room to paint, they want to paint a house, they don't want to spend $700 on a good airless sprayer. Or you're like me, you got some baseboard, and I don't like rolling stuff if I can. I like spraying it, and I'm spoiled because at my house I've got a huge air compressor and I've got all kinds of sprayers, but I didn't bring that with me because I split my tools in half. The finishes that I got varied depending on a lot of factors. How much paint I was throwing out, how much air, and that's obvious, of course. I was able to get a really good finish. Now, this is not a furniture-worthy finish. What I was able to get is an incredibly light orange peel, and that, for me, I'm happy with that because this is baseboard trim, and I am not painting anything expensive. I'm painting MDF. I would say if you're gonna use this for latex paint, I would say thin it down at least 15% because that, from what I've read, it claims that you can spray latex without thinning it. I would thin it 10 or 15% just based on what I've seen here. Now, granted, I was spraying a shellac-based primer, but for me, that's such a thin product that it leveled and sprayed like a dream. Cleanup is easy. Cleanup, super easy. It's got this little thumb trigger here, and all you do is you just do that, and you rotate it out. And now it's two separate pieces. So you've got the actual motor here, and now you can change containers. Another great thing, which helps me a lot, it's full of denatured alcohol. That's what I clean everything with. Is it's got the intake tube. You can change any direction. It spins around really easy. So if you are spraying and upward, spin it that way. if you're doing downward. If, like me, I was spraying a lot down. Put it that way, it picked up most everything. I didn't have a lot of problem. I didn't have to keep it slam full or anything. Let's not spill the denatured alcohol on my freshly, on my nice newly painted trim. But this is for bigger material. This is supposed to give you a much easier, and to install the head, really easy. All you do, boom, and rotate it in. Lock it, easy, and so this is air all the way up, and this is using the knob all the way down. Once again, directional. Let me tighten that up a little bit. So that's for changing your direction from wide fan, and this is for, like, I use this for my edging. This will lay it horizontal. This here is your air intake tube, and this kind of keeps the cylinder pressurized. If you run into problems like I did earlier, which is why I almost returned it, there is a hole here that gets clogged fairly easy, especially if you're like me and you're using a really fast drying primer. This little hole, can you focus on that for me? This little hole right here will cause you, can I see it? Yeah, right here. This little hole right here can cause you a boatload of problems because it does not allow the container to become pressurized. And you'll get all the air in the world, but you will get no paint. So that was something I had to learn. Hey, it's any tool you're gonna have. This just pops in, super easy. Make sure it's on there. Go ahead and we'll just kind of roll this in. As far as, so from everything that I had seen, the general cleaning is you clean the container, the intake tube, clean out the nozzle. You know, what I did is I just ran a bunch of denatured alcohol through it as soon as I got done painting. I've let this stuff dry before, no bueno. So this nozzle comes apart really easy. That's it, it just pops on, pops off. Then you get this, and you can just unscrew it. And now you pop this out. And it's no problem. That right there, that's your air nozzle. Paint comes from around here. Really, really easy. Really easy to take apart for cleaning, which I need to do. That just pops back in. It all goes back together in the reverse order. Go ahead and screw that on. And then we just pop this back in based on how this is facing. So we'll just pop it in. And now we are back together. We're good, we're easy. And it's a pretty simple product that can do both. I paid like $160 for it. I don't know how long it's gonna last. You know, I've always bought really good tools before. This is kind of something I went cheap on just because I can't justify buying another sprayer. I have one good one, and this was, you know, it seemed fitting for me. It's got some O-rings, it's got some things that could be failures. I do know that these nozzles are pretty cheap. They're like $10 a piece if you want to buy them for other functions, or if you drop them, if you break them. It's cheaply made. I mean, this is not some glowing endorsement, but I would give it, you know, 4 out of 5 as far as what it's going to do for you and the type of quality most homeowners are going to do. If you are an obsessive compulsive person and you are trying to obtain a level of quality that is what you consider far above and beyond what even a professional quality is, this is not going to work for you. This is going to work for somebody who just wants who wants to do a good job, who wants their house to look a little better, and they want to throw a lot of paint out, because it does throw a lot of paint out. And also, you got to take my opinion with like everybody else's opinion. I use this one, so it's not a glowing review, but you know, hey, it's pretty good for what it is. For the money, it's great. You know, I don't think you're going to get 20 years out of it, you know, but you'll get a couple years out of it. And it comes with a hard case, which is always helpful for anybody who buys a lot of tools. Hard cases are money. We all know this. We wish they'd give them back to us. There should be a cutoff. Anything over 200 gets a hard case. But no. Used to get hard cases for everything. Now we don't. But either way. So that's my review of it. You know, it's good for what I need it for, and it's very, very, very simple to operate with. And I'll probably, if you watch any more of my videos, you'll see anything that's sprayable, I will be using this. But I got mad at it. I mean, this morning, this thing was getting ready to go to the trash or get returned because it wouldn't spray. And I cleaned it. But that little air hose, that little air hole that was blocked, that if you don't know it's there, you don't know to look for it. That thing is slap ass full of paint, like everything else, and you're not seeing it. But I cleaned it, able to take everything apart. I learned how to disassemble everything. And overall, like I said, you know, for $150, it's a good product that can do, you know, a multitude of things. And I mean, like I said, unless you're, you know, trying to punch well above most DIYer and homeowners weight, it'll be fine for you. All right, thank you all very much, and subscribe for me. Thank you.